Matt Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. What are we? Is it 2 weeks from tomorrow? I think it is.
Yeah.
2 weeks from tomorrow is a big election.
Goodness.
Yeah, because it's the 20th, and the next week would be the 27th, and the next week would be the 3rd. Yes, November 3rd is 2 weeks from tomorrow. Wow.
Of course, we won't know until mid-March.
That's probably true.
President is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it almost certainly won't be election night. But 20 million people, 20, 30, what is it, 28 million?
I saw 28 million last night.
28 million people have voted already. I don't know if they're trying to discourage somebody or what, but I hear that number every day, and every day it jumps by millions. I don't know, many, many millions. I got to get out and do that before Election Day.
Yeah.
Haven't done that yet. You already did, right? You took care of it?
I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Got your vote for Biden?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the increase in absentee requests and stuff like that. Red flag, North Carolina. What was the other state? North Carolina was, 1,000% higher or something like that. And it was primarily Democrats or something. And then there was another state that was very similar. I want to say Michigan, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so that was a little concerning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because,
it's probably Democrats who are doing that.
There's a lot of fun stuff we'll get into that's going on with ballots right now.
That's a lot. Mm-hmm. It's a lot. And I love the lies from Biden. Jeez, if you watched any football yesterday, you saw some of those lies. I mean, he's just flat out lying in his ads. Let's see. First, let's play the guy from The Blind Pig. This is a bar in Michigan.
Oh, that's the name of the bar?
Yeah, The Blind Pig.
Sounds like a fun place.
It is located in Michigan. Do you know who the governor of Michigan is? Gretchen Whitmer is the governor of Michigan. This guy doesn't seem to get that. Check this out. Yeah, but then
right now it's an empty room.
Oh man.
This is the reality of
Donald Trump.
Trump's COVID response. For my family and for this business and my community.
Yeah, Joe Biden.
That Joe Biden wins the selection.
Joe Biden. Sure.
That's the kind of president we need.
Give me a break.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
That is insanity. Okay. Donald Trump did not close your stupid bar, moron. Do I feel for you that you're closed? Yeah, that's too bad. But maybe you should get your head out of your anus and figure out who did close down your bar. Gretchen Whitmer. I just can't even believe it. It's the governors and it's the mayors in your states and your cities that are doing this to you. It is not Donald Trump. Donald Trump did not close down your bar, doofus. Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, he was doing the same thing in speeches in Michigan over the weekend. I saw him constantly referred to the plot to kidnap Whitmer as a white supremacist plot that was brought on by Donald Trump's rhetoric and blah, blah, blah. Conveniently leaving out the fact that these are far leftists, these anarchists that have said bad things about Trump,
right,
that are plotting this kind of stuff.
Unbelievable. I mean, then you have even more egregious ad that was running about the vets who are blaming Trump for saying that we're suckers and we're not suckers and losers. How many times are you going to push that complete and total lie that he said that veterans were suckers and losers?
You got someone in uniform saying it.
Wow. It just shouldn't be allowed. How is that allowed on Twitter when it's been completely discredited? Why can you do that on Twitter and Facebook and network television? Continually push that lie.
The most frustrating thing when you see those ads is you see someone in uniform saying, we're not suckers and losers the way Donald Trump says. Where is the follow-up ad from Trump that is just simply playing Biden's words that are on tape of him mocking the soldiers at an event?
Yeah, calling them stupid.
Stupid, slow, dull.
Yeah.
What do you?
Yeah.
Where is that ad? Like you said, we're 2 weeks out. I haven't seen it yet. You just need to play him saying that.
Wouldn't be that hard, really. You
No.
know, you take that video and you put it into an ad, and then you purchase space on TV. Maybe that's the problem. He doesn't have any money to purchase space. I don't know, but it's not hard. Who's running these campaigns?
I mean, they come up with creative ads, but I feel that, and maybe I'm just out of touch, it doesn't feel like a lot of people are seeing them.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that at all.
But like you said, you watched 5 minutes of football this weekend, and oh no, let's go to a Biden break. I mean, a commercial break.
Yep.
Every time.
Yeah. They've got money to burn right now.
Yes, they do. Hundreds
of millions of dollars, and they're pouring it into TV where they're going to find people. Like, I don't know, watching NFL football. It's agonizing, and it's frightening because we are in the home stretch here. Then he's lying about getting the Boilermakers Union endorsement in Pennsylvania. Boilermakers Local 154 Union represents thousands of American workers in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio. They're calling out Joe Biden for lying about having been endorsed by them. At a televised town hall last week, Biden made the false claim that the Boilermakers Union overwhelmingly endorsed him, saying he sat down with them to discuss his energy plan, in which he said he will ban fracking. Well, the Boilermakers Local 154 Union endorsed Trump, as they did in 2016. Just last month, they endorsed him again this time. Union leader John Hughes called out Biden for the lie in a press conference on Saturday. The other day, I'm watching the debate, and I see Joe Biden tell everybody that the Boilermakers endorsed him, and that is not true. And I would like somebody to tell me who. He said he talked to somebody. I'd like to know who he talked to in the Boilermakers.
To somebody, end quote.
Yeah, I like that. I talked to somebody. Did you? Oh, okay. And they said that you've got their endorsement? Yeah, well, you don't.
Man.
It just doesn't matter, though. He'll lie about anything.
So it's not that he's claiming that some neutral groups are supporting him. He's claiming that groups that have officially signed on with Trump are endorsing him.
Right.
This is more egregious than, remember during the primary, all of the black preachers down in South Carolina, they put out an ad or something saying that all these black pastors and preachers and stuff have endorsed the Biden campaign. And then when the press contacted all of these black leaders, they're like, no, we have not endorsed him. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, what is it? Okay. It's pretty easy to verify if they've endorsed you or not.
They don't care. They don't care because nobody follows up, and it gets very little press. The lie gets told everywhere, and then the correction gets told hardly anywhere. He's also, apparently Biden his campaign is warning in an internal memo. This might give you some hope. That the race between he and President Trump is much closer than election polling suggests.
Oh.
According to Real Politics, national polling shows that Biden has a commanding lead. Currently, Biden's average national lead over Trump stands at 9%, while his lead in top battleground states is about half of that, 4.5%. Biden's lead, which has remained relatively steady throughout the general election season, shouldn't give Democratic voters a false sense of security that Biden has the win in the bag. According to Biden campaign manager Jen O'Malley Dillon, she said in a letter to her supporters, we cannot become complacent because the very searing truth is that Donald Trump can still win this race.
Uh-oh.
And every indication we have shows that this thing is going to come down to the wire.
Oh, that's the internal memo from the Biden campaign.
Right?
Oh, okay.
So something's up with these polls. I don't know if people are just not admitting they're going to vote for Trump or what.
There are reports of violence all over the place of attacking Trump supporters. Why would you want to openly admit it? It's like, you know what? I'll just
Very true.
cast the old ballot and we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah. Also, somebody on the right tweeted this out from Nevada. A supporter received ballots for 18 people who do not live at the house he rents in Las Vegas. He doesn't know any of them. This is a mess.
Wow.
And laid out the ballot, as you see there.
Look at that.
Laid out the 18
I was
ballots.
waiting for that one. 18 random ballots.
Yep.
Showing up. Okay, that's
a mess. Yeah, you could say that's a mess.
That's a battleground state.
Okay. 18 ballots for people who don't live there.
That number also came up at the polls this weekend. Lori D, Pat Head, who tweeted this to us here.
Doing some poll watching to duty.
Thank you for doing that.
Had to get the lawyer involved. Family couldn't speak English, yet showed up with absentee ballots for 18 people.
What?
18! Filled out in English.
Filled out in English? Wait a second here.
Huh.
What is with
I
this?
thought they didn't speak English, but they were filled out in English. And for a family who don't speak English, all filled out in English. 18
nice
of them.
American family of 18.
Perfectly wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
No.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Nothing to see here.
So they're sending them out in groups of Jeffy speak? Is that what's going on here? That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
That's very strange.
Yeah, we're on to you. We cracked the code.
Then we got this bizarre Biden ad.
Yeah.
Look at this.
For 6 months, everything is COVID this and COVID that. I lost my job because we're all trying to stay at home to get this under control. And our president does what? Are you kidding me? Look,
What do you do?
maybe you don't like the other guy running for president. I get it. I don't like anyone right now. But could you do me a favor? Take 10 minutes this November and vote. Can you do that? Can you do that for me, please? Oh, that is it. Wait till your father gets home.
Jeez, wow.
For the love of God, vote for Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
So,
okay,
yeah, but she
and
never
what was it?
did
I'm sorry, what
establish-
was it that Trump did?
He did.
And then Trump did what? Yeah, what? What did he do?
I mean, there you go.
And then Trump did what? Okay, so we've just left some weird implication there that he did some horrendous action.
And her big thing was she wants everything to open back up.
Uh-huh.
Well, who's
Again,
pushing for that?
That's Donald Trump is pushing for that. He's trying desperately to get people to open back up.
Since Easter.
Yeah, he wanted a 2-week closure, you might remember. 2 weeks, 14 days. And everybody had a conniption fit. You can't open this back up by Easter? And so he turned it over to the governors. Okay, open it up when you think you're ready. And they had some guidelines to follow. And that was his plan. Follow these guidelines, open your restaurants and your businesses back up as soon as you possibly can. Some of them are still closed. And it's not his fault. He didn't do it. There was no national mandate. And that's part of what the Democrats seem to be pissed off about, was that he wasn't dictatorial enough.
Right.
Even though they claim he's a dictator. Just doesn't, the world doesn't make any sense anymore.
It's fun, right?
Really fun.
Fun.
Can help you out with your home selling adventure, though, or buying. Either way, really, with Real Estate Agents I Trust. If you need an agent and you're looking to buy or you're looking to sell, or maybe you're going to do both. You're going to sell in one city and buy in another because you're relocating. RealestateAgentsITrust.com is where you should go. This is Glenn's company. And all of these agents are really closely vetted to find out if they have great track records and marketing plans, and if they know the market, because those are all keys to helping you sell your home for the most money or get the most out of your money when you're buying. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really kind of says it all. RealestateAgentsITrust.com.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
So, seems like Joe Biden's teleprompters are getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And at this latest event, I mean, this thing is like, look at this. Here's a video of how big this. Look at that.
What in the world?
Oh, man. Okay, so it's like a Little League baseball game where everybody's in their car honking.
Yeah.
Like when somebody gets a hit. You ever have that happen with the parents watching in the car and then they start honking when somebody gets a hit?
No, that's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
But like if it's cold or something and the parents don't want to get out, but they make the kids get out and play?
See that one more time because I want to see the setup in the parking lot. This is a big Biden rally. Look at all the people there.
See what we got here.
Okay. Whoa.
I mean, there's a good 8 or 9 cars in the shot. I don't know that they're all there for the rally. Some guy probably just got out of work. He's like, what the? I left my car here 8 hours ago and there was nothing going on.
And by the way, at some point, the teleprompter is just so big, you might as well just have the audience turn around and look at it.
There you go.
They can read it for themselves.
Or just have the teleprompter be the president if he wins. Quite frankly, since he depends on it so much.
Man.
Remember Obama used to, he put the teleprompter in the elementary school room.
Yes.
He's in the kindergarten classroom.
I do indeed remember that. Nah, he was Mr. Teleprompter. But that guy was a master of the prompter. Biden, Trump's not as good on the teleprompter as he is just off the cuff. Obama and Biden are both terrible. Of course, Biden's even worse off prompter. But Obama did a pretty good job when he was on the teleprompter. That was the only way he could get through a speech, in fact, is if he read every word everywhere he went. 888-900-3393. Meanwhile, the supporters of Joe Biden continue to get weirder and crazier every day. They got this crazy going around saying that she's worried that the GOP will steal votes. It's not the GOP that we keep hearing about here, with all of the stories of the ballots going out to people who, 18 of them who don't live at this resident, with the ballots already filled out. In some cases, but she's worried about it, ever so slightly. Listen to her.
I don't know if you feel the way that I do, but I feel like we're living in an alternate universe here. That something has happened to the United States of America.
Okay.
And we're all grasping and trying to hold on to our democracy.
Uh-oh.
We don't have a democracy.
What's going on in Texas?
Trigger world.
The vote is being repressed.
Oh.
This is evil.
Is it? Really?
This is wrong.
You see it?
The Republicans have to stop. I'm terrified. Listen to me, Republicans.
Okay.
Listen.
All right. I'm
to her.
listening.
You are the people in history they warned us about.
Really?
They warned us about people like you.
They warned us about you.
Pay attention. We're losing our democracy.
We're not a democracy!
Wake up!
Wow. I believe I actually heard the demon escaping from her body.
Seriously, she might be possessed. She may be possessed.
Can we get a welfare check on that lady?
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow. A wellness? You mean wellness or welfare? Do you want to send her a welfare check?
Oh, welfare.
Is that what you're
wellness
thinking?
Check. What did I say? Welfare.
Well, yeah.
No, she's
A
got the
wellness
welfare
check.
check. She's been cashing that for years, obviously. No, we need the wellness check.
What is it that is happening, with Republicans right now? Because we do have a Republican in office. What is it that is happening that is so bad to her? What has happened here? What freedom has she lost? What oppression is she experiencing? If the Democrats win, you will experience oppression and loss of freedoms. They're already, he's talking about shutting down internet gun sales, for one thing. Won't be able to do that anymore. Won't be able to buy parts. You won't be able to buy guns. He's going to shut that down.
Yeah, Beto's going to be the gun czar. Remember that?
Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Because what was his thing? Hell yes, I'm going to ban AR-15s. Oh, okay. Well, no, that's something different. They didn't used to admit to that. In fact, they denied it every single time. Oh, or nobody's talking about taking your guns. Hell yes, I'm going to take your guns.
Yeah, and you don't think that would actually become a cabinet position if the Democrats sweep?
Of course it would.
Oh, my goodness.
Of course it would.
It would be the, I don't know, there would be some sort of regulatory czar position, cabinet level.
But you see all these women, we had girls a couple of weeks ago, too, who were just out of their minds crazy. What was the one screaming about? Oh, it was the Ruth Bader Ginsburg thing. Do we still have her somewhere?
I don't know.
Holy
yes, we
you
do.
guys! I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died!
Hey! Fun!
Could this year get any worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021!
So inconsiderate of her to die like that when this girl was counting on her. That was really inconsiderate of you, Ruth.
If only this lady had made that video before
she
died.
Then she would have known. Oh, that's right. That's right. I just have to hang on till January 20th, and then everything's fine. Of course, if she hangs on that long and Trump wins, she's going to be pissed. Right? Because...
Oh, yeah, there's another crazy lady.
Yeah.
We got turtleneck lady,
kiddo,
too.
Oh.
I get
Listen,
it.
kiddo.
I don't like the two-party system. I think our country's corrupt. And quite frankly, I don't want to vote for Biden. It feels like voting for a Republican. But I'm going to do it.
Gosh.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because the
Because you're crazy, that's why.
fascist.
Oh.
A fascist is a fascist.
Oh, look at that.
What has he done that is fascist?
About dismantling the two-party system when a fascist isn't running. Maybe we can do that later, kiddo. Champ.
Chief.
There it is.
Maybe we can talk about it later.
Sport. Oh, what a hideous, nasty. Ugh.
Keith Olbermann's offspring there.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, she's...
A fascist is a fascist. That's good. It's good stuff. Stability.
You know what the fascism is? You know what the fascism is, right? We want babies to be able to live. We want babies to be born alive. If you have a baby brewing in your uterus, we would like it to be born. That's fascism.
Wow. Can we?
That's the fascism they hate so
Are we
much.
running this on a delay, Martin? I don't know that we've cleared this kind of hate speech.
Yeah, it is. It is hateful, isn't it? Because women's rights are human rights, and their right.
I'm gonna have to shut this down.
There it goes. And their right is to, of course, kill all the babies they want.
Yeah.
Because I really believe that's the fascism they're talking about. What else is there that Trump has done? He's done a couple of things where he stopped funding international abortions from our taxpayer dollars.
Fascist.
Which is fascism to them. And what else has happened? I mean, they haven't even lost their abortion rights. Every court has blocked all the new good abortion laws that I can remember. Did the one in Alabama passed? Maybe that got through the court system? I can't even remember. But I really do believe they're so psycho about the abortion thing.
That's what it is.
That's what they're talking about. Wow, it's crazy. Just absolutely crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But there is hope. We do have people who understand what's going on. And some are minorities, like these blacks who are speaking truth. Check this out.
His sign says, Trump is the symptom, the system is the disease. What do you think about that statement?
What is he advocating for?
He's saying systematic racism.
Systematic racism?
Or systemic.
Systemic
there you
racism,
go.
Okay. Listen, man, I'm a first-generation American. My parents immigrated to this country from West Africa, from Ghana, right? They came to this country with practically nothing that they had, right?
Yeah.
They busted their faces, worked really hard,
Broke
brought
their
14
faces.
of my relatives from Ghana to the United States legally, who also were in poverty, by the way, but they worked hard to come and give our family an American dream. I turned 19 in boot camp. I decided to join United States Air Force.
Pause it for a second.
RAF Milton.
Okay, just to set this up for anybody who's not watching on Blaze TV, he's wearing a Make America Great Again cap. So the things he's talking about are all American values, and he loves this country, and he loves what his family's been able to do here. I mean, this is just awesome. This is great stuff. All right, go ahead.
To join United States Air Force, where I served at RAF Mildenhall as a aerospace ground equipment journeyman. Fought in the military, came back home, and I see people like this sheep promoting communism and Marxism and a bunch of things he doesn't even know. Trying to upend capitalism, upend our way of life to replace it with a system he doesn't know. Communism and Marxism has been tried hundreds of times. It's never been successful. It's never worked. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people like this coming out here believing that the African-American communities we're just a bunch of monoliths. We're going to believe all one thing.
Yes!
If you're black, you got to be a Democrat. If you're black, you got to be with Biden. If you're black, you got to be with Obama. You try and choose anything else, you're a racist, you're a bigot. Because what he doesn't know is that the Republican Party was founded by several hundred African-Americans. I bet he doesn't know that. I bet he doesn't know that the first 28 congresspeople in the United States that were African-American congresspeople were Republican. And I'm talking from the 1800s up until the late 1800s. All of them African-American. The first senators, 1800s. First 28, Republicans. The first African-American congresswoman wasn't until 1963. The first African-American senator was not until 1993. I was alive when the first African-American senator was put into power. This guy does not know that.
So
you see all these African Americans, thousands of them. But we're a monolith. We're on the wrong side of history. This guy supports the party that created the KKK. He supports the party that created redlining. He supports the party that created the Trail of Tears, where they marched all the Native Americans into the Western plantations.
Yes!
This is the guy who supports the Jim Crow, who supports the segregation. Yeah, we're the ones on the wrong side of history because we're not taking a handout to the Democrat Party. The Republican Party's not here to hand out anything. We're here for opportunity. We're here to pick people up. And I'm sick and tired of the people, especially in my generation, perpetuating a history that they don't even understand, pushing for things that are going to destroy our country.
Guy goes on for like 5 minutes. How long was that?
For 2.5 minutes.
Right off the top of his head. Give that guy a talk show because that's pretty stinking good stuff.
Give that guy a seat in Congress.
That's a history lesson. Right there. Right there. That's really, that's awesome. And he knows it because he loves it. And he understands that this country has given him opportunity that he couldn't have received in Ghana. If his parents had stayed in Ghana and he hadn't been brought to the United States of America and born here, he knows his life would be completely different right now.
Oh, yeah, he does.
He knows that.
Yeah.
And he's obviously looked into it just a little bit. And I'm guessing that there's an awful lot of people, especially in the black community, who don't know any of those things because they've been indoctrinated that the Democrat Party is the party who cares about them and who takes care of them and who is going to do things for them.
And the same percentage of white people don't know that either.
No, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Hey, we have time for another clip from that same event. If you want
we do?
Squeeze that in here real quick.
All right, let's do it.
Start doing your research, start talking to people who don't think the same way as you, and try to understand what their values are, and stop and take your emotions out of it. Take your emotions out of it and look straight at the facts. Look at who is saving you money on your taxes, and look who is spending all your tax money. Because I definitely got a tax break, and I want to keep that tax break. So please stop voting Democrat so I can keep my paycheck. I've worked too hard.
Nice. I mean, just a simple thing, but an important thing. Taxes. Yes. Biden has promised he's going to raise your taxes. When he takes the Trump tax break away, everybody gets a tax increase, not just the wealthiest 1%. Important point. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Welcome to it. Great to have you with us. Pat Gray Unleashed, 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where DM tweets. Takes a special kind of magic to simultaneously do too much and too little to fight a virus. It's for sure.
I mean, Trump can't win, man.
He can't. He should have shut it down earlier, or he shouldn't have shut it down at all. They want to have it both ways, and that's what they continue to do. And I hope the American people are realizing that the Democrats they're actually trying to have it both ways.
And speaking to just this ad that you brought in today out of Michigan, point to the ordinance or the declaration or the edict from Trump that has shut your bar down, man. There isn't one.
You can't. You can't.
It's Whitmer.
There's no executive order. There's nothing. Yeah, it's your governor. Jeez, look into it a little bit, would you please, before you start doing national ads for a communist? Would you, please? Petty Officer America. That's right. Joe Biden is raging against the machine in that attack ad. Joe Biden is going to tear it all down because he hates the machine. He's been the machine for 47 years, you morons. It's great. So true. Freedom Rioter, that nut job is so terrified she's reading her lines. I like that. Michael NP1701, TDS is a psychological disorder, isn't it though? Trump derangement syndrome?
Yes, it is.
Jackie McJackhole tweets, earlier Pat asked about the demon-possessed woman. What freedom have you lost? That one is easy. The freedom to think for herself. Mm-hmm. And this from Courier for Christ. Strange that Biden is lying when he does his ads. When I do any kind of speaking, I stand or sit. I guess he's pretty old, though, so I get it.
Wow, that's
a
little early for that one.
Lying.
Yes, he's lying down.
Lying down.
I mean, it won't be long, though, before Joe Biden is actually just doing speeches from a bed. Seriously.
Yeah,
You doubt that?
No, I don't doubt that at all.
Bring the camera over here.
Here he was this weekend trying to get through something. I'm not sure what exactly.
He's telling people to go vote.
Yeah, he's telling people to go vote.
I think. We don't know for sure.
I'm asking for your trust and support in 2020 for Kamala and me. We'll always have your back. I promise you.
Okay.
So please, vote. Help us get out the vote. Go to iwillvote.com/MI. In Detroit, more than 20 years. Look, you have now.
Wait, what?
20 early voting centers.
20.
They're open now all across the city.
20 years?
Wait, what? Okay.
You lost me at the 20 years. Are we voting
lost
today?
Himself there. Look, 20 years. Look. Okay, see if you can play that last part again because that's incredible.
He's trying to say over 20
voting places?
Yeah, but
Detroit.
How did years slip in there?
More than 20 years.
More than 20 years.
Look. You have now. 20 early voting centers. They're open now all across the city.
Oh, okay. He finally gets it.
He hit the reset button. Look.
Look. Okay. He bails himself out every time with look or tries to. Look.
What's his other phrase? Oh, gosh. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Look.
Look. Here's the thing.
What's the other one? There's another one. Yeah, here's the deal. Yeah.
Here's the deal. Look. 20 years. He always wants to go to years for some reason. He did the 100 years thing too, right?
Huh.
You remember that? This.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look,
100 years. Look.
The lives.
Look.
When you think about it.
I think about it. I mean,
more
it's just
lives this year than any other year.
Yeah.
For the past 100 years.
For the 100 years. 100 years. He had no idea what 100 years was. And even though it's up on that teleprompter that's 1,000 feet tall, he still can't get it.
Don't do this, America.
He's reading it off the teleprompter and still can't get it. I wonder if he's got a vision problem as well. He must, right? Because look at the size of that. Look at the size of that teleprompter and the...
Yeah, what happened? Where's just the regular...
And the font is so big.
The little glass things that...
Yeah, why don't they have those up in front of him? Because apparently they're not enough, and they thought, okay, let's just make a really big teleprompter for him, and he'll be able to see this and read it, and it'll be a lot smoother. Nope, that still doesn't help. So it might be his vision. It might just be his clouded mind. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
Seriously, Weekend at Bernie's now. This is the territory we're in.
Seriously, it's really bad. It's really bad. And can you not see this? America? Democrats, can you not see it?
What percentage of the time is he reading those words and he has no idea where he is?
Oh, I think
what he's doing.
I think 30 or 40%. probably.
I mean, this debate coming up Thursday night is very, very important for Trump.
Oh my gosh,
isn't it? You've got to just throw out numbers, whatever COVID restrictions they want, dude. Just go along with it. Yeah. President Trump, show up there and then just start spitting out numbers.
And he's got to debunk some of this bull crap that they keep throwing at him. These lies, like the suckers and losers line. He's got to take care of that. He's got to, and to tell people like Mr. Co-owner of the Blind Pig, I didn't close your bar, dude. I didn't do that. That was your governor or your mayor or both. I don't know, but check with them because they got the green light to open this thing. I gave them the power, like, I don't know, a U.S. president should do, like the U.S. Constitution says to do. That's what I did. I did not become a dictator here and close down everything nationwide. So he's got to make a couple of those points and get that through people's thick heads, because otherwise he's in real trouble. I can't imagine. I can't imagine a Joe Biden administration or a Kamala Harris administration. It would be the death of us. I really believe that. The country as we know it, fundamentally transformed.
Yeah.
The total and complete fundamental transformation of the United States.
And think about how much it's been transformed with a conservative in office.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need any help having the country get transformed out from under us.
No.
We don't need to give them the keys to the kingdom here.
It's crazy. All right. Leftist corporations like Verizon have empowered radicals to tear our country apart by funding their efforts. Most recently, they sent about $10 million to Al Sharpton and other groups. All starts with impeachment with the Democrats, then exploiting the pandemic, followed by violent riots. Now they're threatening violence over filling the vacant seat on the Supreme Court. Where does it end? It ends with the funding. That's why it's so important to make the switch to Patriot Mobile. They don't fund these left-wing causes. They share your values, and they don't send your hard-earned money to aid in the destruction of America or to fund Planned Parenthood. And you get the same coverage. You get that same nationwide coverage. We all know they all share the same cell towers. And you'll be supporting a company that loves America, that shares your values, supports our police. They make it easy to switch, too. They know that, it's great to do something altruistic, but they also want to make it convenient for you. So you can bring your own phone or keep your phone number or switch both if you want. Get a free month of service right now or a free phone plus free activation with the offer code PAT. Just go to patriotmobile.com/PAT or call their U.S.-based customer service team at 972-PATRIOT. 972-PATRIOT. Veterans and first responders, you save even more. So make the switch today. patriotmobile.com/PAT.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
This is interesting. There was a Somali Democrat candidate in Minnesota who is claiming that Democrats are so corrupt in her state. They're actually buying votes there from their constituents. It's not wonderful. She's going around door to door, and she stopped doing that because so many of the people had been paid off for their vote that they want her to pay them $200 to pledge their vote to them.
They're just used to it. That's the way we do things.
Yeah.
Where's your money?
I mean,
unreal.
It is incredible what's going on right now. She said it is worse than Somalia.
Wow.
That's one of the reasons she claims she left Somalia was because of this kind of corruption. In recent years, apparently, multiple Somali Americans living in Minneapolis, St. Paul have come forward to describe vote buying, ballot harvesting, and intimidation operations of historic scope in the Democrat-controlled area. Some have brought evidence to state and federal law enforcement, though little action has been taken. These whistleblowers explicitly name Representative Ilhan Omar. her campaign director, Ali Isi, and other Democrat Party members as being involved in all of this. Okay. No wonder she got in office, being as radical as she is. This year, local political activist and Democratic Party member Sasido Shai ran for Minneapolis City Council seat in Ward 6. She has a long political resume. She's been appointed to several state boards by Minnesota's governor and has also served as the Minneapolis Democratic fundraising director. Well, on July 6th, she released a 15-minute video of herself speaking in Somali. She announced that she was not suspending her campaign, but would no longer be campaigning door to door. And the reason, she got sick and tired of people asking her for $200 in order to vote for her.
So this is someone who's deep in part of the Democratic machine.
Big time.
Saying that this is not right.
Yeah, it's not acceptable, and it's not right. All of these Democrats are going around, and they're offering people money to vote for them, which, of course, is a felony in the U.S.
Just make sure that I'm not lost here and going Joe Biden here. She's a Democrat.
Yes.
And she's saying this is nasty.
And she's saying that these are Democrats doing this.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, look, I agreed to $100 a vote, not this $200 thing. What's this inflation stuff?
She says people keep saying, if you need my vote, give me money. Okay. All right.
Did she not get the memo from the Democratic Party of Minnesota? This is how we do things around here?
I guess not. Or maybe she just can't read English. I don't know. She's spoken Somali, so
I see.
That's possible,
Maybe
too.
the conversion.
This is an American
rate.
hero, somebody who will defy her own party and talk about something that's unconstitutional and something really corrupt going on in the United States of America we need to know about and put a stop to it.
I mean, I throw around this term, the third worldification of America.
Yes.
This is clearly a prime example of it, and she even says so. Somalia, it's worse here than in Somalia with this vote-buying stuff.
Yeah. Now, how do you feel? That's pretty good, right? You feel pretty good about it?
So now you just kind of go, oh, okay, well, I guess we'll give Minnesota to the Democrats this go-around when you see stories like that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
But we do have a few more words of comfort. Comfort.
I mean, only the highest quality sound effects here at Pat Gray
Right, that's
Unleashed
right.
program.
That's right, because we've got the budget for it. Yeah. So we take full advantage of them.
Yeah, what we got? So we got words of comfort?
There are African evangelicals that are praying for Trump to win this election.
All right.
And we can use all the prayers we can get from all over the world. Thank you, African evangelicals. Pray for him. Because when God places any of his children in a position, hell sometimes would do anything to destroy that individual, according to Nigerian pastor Chris Oyakhilome, a prominent televangelist, in a sermon in June. He's also warned that critics of the Republican president, who is seeking re-election, dislike his supporters. That's for sure. They're angry at Trump for supporting Christians. You better know it. So the real ones that they hate are you who are Christians, he said. It's interesting that some African evangelicals understand what's going on better here than many American citizens. He said President Trump has been a polarizing figure the world over, but he is popular in African countries like Nigeria and Kenya, according to a Pew Research poll. Both Nigeria and Kenya are deeply religious countries. Megachurches proliferate in the Christian south of Nigeria, Africa's most populous nation, and in Kenya, many politicians go to church sermons to address their supporters because they're very popular there. Many evangelical Christian groups in Africa, which are mostly anti-abortion, anti-gay rights, and support Israel, were not keen on Trump's predecessor, Barack Obama, despite his Kenyan heritage.
Oh, wait, now.
Yeah, he did have heritage.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
The Obama administration had been pushing a liberal agenda here in Africa, and that agenda was of concern to some of us Christian leaders. It was a relief that during Trump's time, he's taken a bit of a back seat. He praised the Trump administration for cutting funding to organizations such as Marie Stopes that provide contraception and safe abortion services in several African countries. How is that not considered racist? Where you're sending money to African nations to abort black babies. How is that possible? Why is that okay? Wow. But Pastor Chogo agrees with the law in Kenya where abortion is illegal. Wow. Unless a mother's health is in danger. Saying that to legalize the termination of pregnancies is part of a population control agenda. Yeah, no kidding. Mm-hmm. The abortion debate has been at the center of U.S. politics for at least 4 decades. White evangelicals have coalesced around the issue, turning their anti-abortion movement into an influential political force. Did you know abortion was illegal in Kenya? I didn't know that. Mm. After the landmark decision, of course, white evangelicals who were not then politically affiliated with either of the two main parties backed Republican Ronald Reagan in 1980 in his election campaign against Carter.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing that the entire world hates Trump. The entire world just wants us to get back to a decent president again. You know, wow, here's proof that a large swath of the planet really enjoys having the president as Mr. Trump.
Another of them said, faith is personal, mine is pro-life. African Christians believe that a Republican president is better for the U.S. and the world. Exactly right.
There it is.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Sheila's AirPods tweets, Glenn said it so well last week. The left doesn't get the same news that we do on social media. It's in the algorithm. If you hear and see the same lies every day, they become truth.
Yep.
From Jack Malarkey and Corn Pop, talking about the corruption in Minnesota. Ilhan Omar may hold the record for the most felonies committed to get into and hold office. It's a pretty high bar, but hey, shatter the glass ceiling, right? Exactly. Yeah, she's doing it. Tobin for Pope campaign. Democrats have been buying votes for years. I think it's actually refreshing that it's become so direct, cash in hand, rather than being disguised as social justice programs. It's refreshing.
It's going to get to the point where the candidate is at the door with a Venmo account. All right, so I'll just send you the... All right, so we got your vote? All right.
I don't know if they're even bothering Venmo accounts. I think they're just giving them cash money right on the spot.
Yeah, but...
a couple $100.
Once they outlaw cash, right, that's going to make it easier to track these campaign donations.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Very true.
Well, then.
I was cleaning out the 360 on Friday because it only holds 1,000 audio sound bites.
And that's sad.
It is sad.
Because the world is a lot crazier than 1,000 sound bites.
Way. And, you know, some of these sound bites go back to... I'll bet some of the John Kerry stuff goes back to
early 80s? Huh?
Well, because we have the Winter Soldier thing. That might be the oldest clip we have. That goes back to about 71, 73, somewhere in there. Anyway, we have a lot of them, and there's a ton of classics in there we just can't get rid of. And sometime soon, we're going to do a social media video on some of the stuff in the machine, maybe even this week sometime. So anyway, I found some really educational clips while I was cleaning it out that you need to hear again to be reminded. You may have forgotten about some of these. And to me, they're just too important to allow that to happen. You may not have heard that Keith Olbermann is leaving ESPN again. Now, I didn't even realize Keith Olbermann was at ESPN still, but he was, but is now leaving once again. I think he wants to concentrate again on politics, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
But this machine contains what is unquestionably the single greatest insult in world history. And it was delivered, of course, by Keith Olbermann.
Mr. Bush, you're a fascist. Get them to print you a T-shirt with fascist on it.
Ouch. Powerful, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Bush, you are a fascist. Get them, I don't know who they are, but get them to print you a T-shirt with fascist on it. Huh. See, apparently, people get T-shirts printed for themselves all the time that describe who they are on the inside. So if you bought a T-shirt at Old Navy or someplace.
Yeah.
And you take that shirt to a place where they silk screen things on the shirt. You know, what Olbermann was saying here is that the word George W. Bush should have silk screened on his T-shirt is the word fascist.
Oh.
Then when George W. Bush would, let's say, go to a grocery store, right, with that T-shirt on, everybody who saw him would realize, hey, that guy is a fascist because he's got fascist printed on his T-shirt. That's what makes it such a cutting insult.
I get it now.
Yeah, it's powerful.
See, when you explain it.
So, right.
I understand it now. It's such a cerebral insult.
Exactly.
From
Yeah,
Keith.
so I knew I had to kind of bring you into the whole vibe there. But he nailed him. Keith Olbermann just nailed George Bush there. So that's a clip that we could never, ever delete. We could never delete that.
No.
And here's another one, possibly even more educational, if you can imagine it, than Olbermann's. This lesson comes to us courtesy of Alex Jones.
And in major prestigious reports, government studies find that shrimp are just swimming right up to birds and being eaten.
Oh, wow.
They're overconfident. They've had their
governors
removed.
Yeah, that's what I
They've
thought.
had their compulsions removed. They've had their fear level. And this is what the studies, when they approved Prozac in 81, had shown. That's why it's now on the drug insert. That, most of the time, you're going to be having a great time. It's a hallucinogen. It's in the psychotropic category.
Sure. Yeah.
But some days, if you get angry, or you don't take the right amount of the medication, or you try to go off of it, or you mix it with other things, you will break and go in and kill 20 people at a school, or you'll chop your baby's arms off, or you'll put your kids all in their car seats, chain them in, and drive them off a cliff. In every case, they've always been on it. And I've talked to so many police. They say they'll pull up
Let's talk to a lot of police.
to a call, and there'll be a beautiful naked woman.
Yeah.
One case, a cop told me about, cutting herself with butcher knives on the roof.
Oh,
and
wow.
then she'll just jump off the roof, breaking her legs.
How many times?
She's on Prozac or a serotonin reuptake inhibitor.
Yeah.
And they found the same thing with shrimp.
With shrimp.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Shrimp will just come up and start attacking crabs. Well,
Right.
the crabs are just going to eat them.
Yeah, see, I mean, that happened to me 3 times last week alone. I pulled up to houses, and there were beautiful naked women on the roof cutting themselves with butcher knives.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
3 times?
3 times last week alone. And so after they made the incision, after cutting themselves, all 3 of them then jumped off the roof and broke their legs. It was really weird to see.
That is strange.
And whenever this happens, every time it happens, when I see it, I always think to myself, you know what? There it is again.
There it is.
Alex warned us about this. Should have listened. Didn't, though. And when shrimp inhibitions have been taken away, as we all know, all hell breaks loose.
Sure.
They get all liquored up.
Yeah.
They'll sometimes start pole dancing or cliff diving. Or in some cases, they'll just swim right up to a seagull and get eaten.
Wow.
By design.
Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen before I get to see them cliff diving shrimp. And where'd you say? You said 3 times last week? You saw
3 times last week.
Beautiful naked women.
Beautiful naked women on top of cutting themselves with butcher knives. I hate that.
Can we get some addresses? Asking for a friend. Jeffy. No, seriously, what? That's
It's weird, right? It's weird.
But then again, maybe it explains all those crazy ass videos we had at the beginning of the show with the liberal supporters screaming at their cameras.
Possibly.
It could.
Possibly.
But wow, that's you don't
Crazy,
want to.
though.
Don't be erasing. In fact, there should be a rule. That you're not allowed to delete anything out of that machine without consulting with the rest of us first, okay?
Okay.
Because there is some good stuff
There is.
that we can't find now.
We'll talk about that in the social media clip.
Cool.
All right?
Yeah, don't be deleting those.
Because I found another helpful hint.
Oh, good. Another one?
Another helpful hint.
Okay.
This is how we can protest, because the right, we're not good at protesting. The left has it down to a science. And here's one of the one of the helpful hints about how we can protest a little bit better. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. See, what's happening here is,
tell us.
in order to rhyme with the phrase, Donald Trump has got to go.
Yeah.
Which is apparently the point of their ranting.
I see.
They added the words hey, hey, ho, ho. I mean, genius.
Oh,
so now it rhymes. Now it rhymes. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Donald Trump has got to go, and then back to the beginning again.
I really, and I know I can speak for all the Pat heads, appreciate this explanation, because when it comes to songwriting, I never put that together. I always thought it was chicken and the egg, and you're saying no, it's egg and chicken.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And so it's Donald Trump has got to go, gets penned first, and then they add
and then
the
they got to figure out
haze and the
something.
hose.
Okay, what do we rhyme that with? And then we'll start with that, and then rhyme it with Donald Trump has got to go. It's a lot like Neil Young did when he wrote the profound words, hey, hey, my, rock and roll can never die. You know, in that whiny voice of his.
Oh.
Hey, hey, my, rock and roll can never die. Wow. You know, that nasally sort of.
I know it. There's a parallel.
Powerful, though. Yeah, powerful.
There's a parallel universe where Neil Young is running the cash register at a Crafty Beaver, as opposed to being one of the most famous singers of all time.
That's a good universe right there. Because
that's where I want to live.
We would have never heard any of these
That's
things.
where I want to live, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand him. Cannot stand that guy.
But if he'd written, say, hey, hey, you, rock and roll can never die, it wouldn't have made any sense.
Would not have.
Right, wouldn't have been nearly as good.
Would not.
Although you could write something like, hey, hey, you, cows make the sound moo, moo.
Oh, wait, now I like
Now that song may not sell as well. I don't know.
Well,
but
I'd download it.
It would rhyme, and then you could do something a little bit like this.
Oh no.
Hey, hey, you. I don't want the China flu. Would that work?
Yeah, that works,
or
man.
Maybe something like this. Hey, hey, you. Al Roker went poo-poo in his pants. Maybe that would work. I don't know.
Maybe. There's no maybe.
There's no maybe about that.
Are we printing those yet? Oh man, made me spit out my breakfast. That's funny stuff.
I'm just trying to make sense of the world, because we got some good lessons on how to protest, and now some good lessons on how to sing a Neil Young song. So I think that's a win. That's a win for us today.
That's not even close. That is a huge win.
All right. Well, good. I'm glad you appreciate it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Also, yesterday on 60 Minutes, we had St. Fauci of DCC, and he was terrific, as he always is. And I love this fact. I don't know if he's just throwing caution to the wind now and he doesn't care about being part of the Trump administration. But he pretty much defied everything that Donald Trump has said. And he's pissed off that he's in one of his campaign ads. Listen to this.
Earlier this month, the Trump campaign released this television ad. It features what appears to be a glowing remark from Dr. Fauci on President Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic.
I can't imagine that anybody could be doing more.
Stunning. Fauci says his words were taken out of context. But this week, the ad continued to run in key battleground states.
Oh, no.
I do not, and nor will I ever publicly endorse any political candidate. And here I am, they sticking me right in the middle of a campaign ad, which I thought was outrageous. I was referring to something entirely different. I was referring to the grueling work of the task force that, God, we were knocking ourselves out 7 days a week. I don't think we could possibly have done any more than that.
Did the steam start to come out of your ears?
No, it did. Quite frankly, I got really ticked off.
Okay, so first of all, he's not talking about Trump, apparently, is what he's saying here. He's talking about himself. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He's talking about himself.
This guy.
I couldn't have done anymore. I'm the one who's doing 7 days, 24/7 work.
I mean, he's a
on
saint.
this thing.
He's a saint.
He's a saint.
So,
and yeah, right. And he's just tirelessly working for America. Second, even if that's true, he's part of the task force, right? Which is part of the Trump administration. He's the one who put together the task force, right? That was the Trump response, was to put together this task force and get the recommendations from it. God, the guy's agonizing. He's agonizing. 888-900-3393. Let me take 60 seconds. Tell you about ExpressVPN. I know you're probably thinking, why don't you just use the incognito mode if you want to be incognito on the web? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Incognito doesn't hide your activity. It doesn't matter what mode you use or how many times you clear your browsing history. Your internet service provider could still see every single website you've ever visited. That's why even when I'm at home, I never go online without using ExpressVPN. It doesn't matter if you get your internet from Verizon or Comcast or from whom. ISPs in the U.S. can legally sell your information to ad companies. And so you're going to get all these obnoxious ads nonstop. ExpressVPN is an app that reroutes your internet connection through their secure servers so your ISP can't see the sites you visit. It's really kind of cool. It's like those Jason Bourne movies where he's pinging his service all over the world. You know, it's in Paris, and then it goes through Rome, and then it's through London, and they can't trace him. Mm-hmm. Protect your online activity today with the VPN rated #1 by CNET and Wired. Visit my exclusive link, expressvpn.com/unleashed. expressvpn.com/unleashed, and you can get 3 extra months free on a 1-year package. That's EXPRESS, expressvpn.com/unleashed. Couple of tweets here from Lynn. Someone needs to mess with Biden's teleprompter or just turn it off. Wouldn't that be great? Oh, man. I don't condone hacking, but I'd be really disappointed if somebody ever hacked into his teleprompter. Wouldn't that be disappointing? That would be, no, don't even try that, hackers.
Yeah.
That would be naughty.
That would
be naughty, and I'd be deeply disappointed.
Hold on. Look at Rob just put on the screen. You know how big Haas, the huge TV screen at the Texas Motor Speedway?
Yeah.
A future Biden prompter. It's the world's biggest Jumbotron. That is awesome.
Oh, the Texas Motor Speedway one is?
Yeah, it was. It's 5 years ago. I don't think
Yeah, is it as big as the one in the
He says it still is
Cowboys
the biggest
Stadium?
one. Yeah, he says it's still the biggest Jumbotron.
All right.
I don't know.
From Microaggressor, I can't even count the number of times I've seen George Bush at the grocery store wearing that T-shirt. Oh, the fascist T-shirt? Yeah.
Down there in Crawford, Texas, around the ranch, when he goes into town, he's wearing his fascist T-shirt with his cowboy boots.
It was just too powerful a suggestion from Keith Olbermann.
It's a great gift idea. I'll tell you that.
Jen with 2 N's. Oh, she's wasting one. That's a shame. Alex Jones knows a thing or two about going off meds for sure. Yeah, he does. Zelda Lilbird 10, who hasn't had Prozac-induced shrimp, come right up to you, challenging you because their inhibitions were gone. Seen it a million times.
What do we do?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Just too muck and fudge. Nothing like a good Pat Unleashed original tune to brighten a Monday morning. Oh, thank you.
Young can't sing, that much is true.
Let's see what else we have. Carl Smith. Hey, hey, ho, ho. This chant has got to go. Repeat. Kyle P. Oh, in Keith's parallel universe where Neil Young works at a Crafty Beaver.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Does Florida replace Neil Young in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Should, yes.
Absolutely.
Make a heck of a lot of sense, I'll tell you that right now. Over the weekend, some great college football action. I don't know if you caught it. BYU defeated Houston, down in Houston.
I saw that
43-26.
Yeah, it was a pretty close game till the fourth quarter, and then, sorry.
Warning.
What's happening here?
May contain spoilers. You know, the thing. You know the thing.
Yeah, sorry, Cody.
Don't say we didn't warn you. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. Some football talk is happening right now.
So for everyone other than Cody, it looked like it was a pretty good game, and then the fourth quarter, you guys
kind of blew it open.
Put them away.
Yeah, it was nice. Even though we were missing a lot of starters in that game, so
wow,
I was pretty happy with
that.
That
was correct me if I'm wrong, your toughest game so far.
Yes.
Like as far as opponent on paper and stuff. I mean,
yes.
I don't want to put anything past the University of Texas,
San Antonio.
I don't want to put anything past them.
No,
but. You had your toughest opponent, and it was a big blowout. And I did hear some of the national voices say we need to start talking about BYU in the national conversation.
Oh, I love them for that.
Yeah,
I love them for that.
I actually heard that.
Yeah, it's nice. And I guess the Big Ten starts action, so Nebraska's going to play this weekend, right? Is it Ohio State right off the bat, right out of the chute? Ohio State, who may, I mean, I'm hearing rumors that they might have their best football team of all time. If that's true, that could be.
11 a.m. Saturday morning at Columbus. I'd like to point out. Oh, it should be. Fun is the word that came to mind to this Husker alumni.
Aren't you sick of Ohio State, though, every freaking year?
No, I'm sick of Alabama.
And Alabama.
That's who I'm sick of.
Yeah. And Clemson, for that matter. All right, let's see. Some great advice from Joe Biden. This is going to solve everything. If he gets into office, he's got a plan for police departments all over the country. and here it is.
We can do this. You can ban chokeholds. But beyond that, you have to teach people how to de-escalate circumstances.
Yeah.
De-escalate. Yeah. So instead of anybody coming at you and the first thing you do is shoot to kill, you shoot them in the leg. There's a way.
Shoot him in the leg.
We already have the new targets ready. The Joe Biden targets. See there?
Yeah. Okay. You could shoot for their core mass.
Don't do that.
To stop them, but don't do that. You need to shoot them in the. Now you might miss, and they could kill you, but at least you're de-escalating.
And if you hit that kneecap, let's be honest.
Ouch.
That's
ouch. Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Take them down.
It'll take them down.
Right?
Yeah.
Ish.
They'll rue the day they ever came up against you as a police officer.
Yeah, but then you got the. See, that's the other thing. The left always wants to talk about the cost of health care, right? Like, I don't want to deal with that criminal's recovery. I don't want to deal with his rehab. If you shoot him in central mass right there in the torso, then we're not going to have to worry about his rehabilitation, sending him to the hospital and his health care costs.
That's probably true.
I'm just saying.
Shoot him in the leg.
Shoot him in the leg.
Biden has so many great pieces of advice for people with weapons. For cops, shoot him in the leg. If you've got an intruder and you're at home, get a shotgun. Get a shotgun. And just fire a couple of rounds out into the atmosphere, and he guarantees they're going to go away. They're just going to leave. So, elect Joe Biden, and this country is going to be completely fixed.
Come on,
Judy. Pennsylvania swing state. That was a joke. He did not mean vote for Joe Biden. Please understand that was sarcasm.
Yes, that might be the most important disclaimer of all time right there. Great to have you with us. Also joining us this morning, COVID survivor, American hero, Stu Burguiere.
Yes, thank you, Pat. I appreciate that.
We've been dying to hear all the details on the COVID situation because you were out for, I guess, a week, a whole week.
A week plus, yeah.
Plus. Yeah, oh yeah, that's right, like
Thursday,
7
Friday.
broadcast days.
Yeah.
Yes.
10 days altogether.
You know this exactly.
Yes, I do.
Had to fill in.
I filled in. Yes.
I was glad.
So, first of all, how'd you get it?
So you never know with these things, of course. But my belief is we went to a dinner with a friend. It was his birthday, and it was it was us and two other couples, and he had just come back from a business trip. So he came back from a business trip
to where? Do you know?
South Carolina, I think.
Okay.
So he's in South Carolina, comes back. It's his his birthday weekend or whatever. So we go out, have a calm dinner, well within the restrictions limit, I would think, right?
Did he seem sick?
No, he's totally fine.
Okay.
So we go out, have dinner, and we show up at this place, and it's like a Lebanese restaurant or something, which of course was my first choice. It was like, I gotta have Lebanese today, gotta have it.
Yeah.
And
I've thought that so many. Well, no times.
No
but
times. Okay.
I may in the future. I don't know.
I was definitely no times until this moment, but then I got really excited about it. Okay. And we show up, there's nobody there. Like, basically there's us and maybe one or two other tables. It's like 8 o'clock at night. And we're sitting there, and like as the food's coming out, it's starting to get more and more crowded. And I'm looking around, I'm noticing it's getting more and more crowded. And all of a sudden, I at some point, it seems to turn into like a dance club. Now, I don't know how this occurs. I don't know this establishment.
People actually dance?
But a dance floor comes out, like lights start getting all over the place. It gets really loud. And I guess this is something my friend knew about. He'd been there before. Like it turns into a fun thing at night or whatever. When we got there, nobody was there. So now, whatever. We're there for, it's like one of those long dinner places. There's obviously, dancing and dance club stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, this is like COVID worst nightmare here. Like, this is all the places that you're not supposed to be at once. Like, you're not supposed to be in restaurants. You're not supposed to wear masks. All the things. Of course, you're eating, so you're not wearing masks, right?
Well, did you ever stand up during the course of the evening without wearing a mask?
That was probably the moment.
Because it goes over your head when you're sitting down, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Flies high. So anyway, I'm at this point, jokingly like, oh, we all have COVID. Clearly, this is like the worst. This is definitely happening. So we go back Sunday, Monday. Monday, he apparently starts having some symptoms. Not feeling so well, not feeling great. This is like Monday night. So Tuesday, he gets up and has a test. Now, he has not told me any of this at this point. Right?
Of course not.
Of course not. So Tuesday, he goes and gets a test. Wednesday, that test comes back positive. So that is like, so that's like Wednesday afternoon. We get the call, hey, tested positive. We also happened to hang out for 3 hours just the other day. This is what's I think. Did
you get a call from health officials? Did they do contact tracing?
I did not, no.
Okay.
Well, at least not then. So then my wife is panicking, and she's like, "Oh God, I gotta go get tested." So she goes and gets one of these rapid tests. I'm on my way home from the show now. It's a Wednesday night, and she calls me and she says, "Positive test." So now I'm like, "Oh great!" Like obviously I have this. So I go and I get a test that night, negative. So, so I'm like, okay, I'm negative. She's positive. Maybe like she caught it at this restaurant, but hasn't passed it to me somehow. I don't know how this, who knows?
Well, Glenn didn't get it, and his whole family had it. So it is possible.
It is possible. So I was like, okay, so we all isolate from Lisa now. So me and the kids are all isolated from Lisa. We have to stay home because we have a close contact that has been positive. We've been around. And the really frustrating thing is when you go in there and this situation happens, they tell Lisa she has to isolate and quarantine for 10 days. They tell me I have to do it for 14. And I'm like, I'm the winner here. I was the guy who didn't get it. I got the negative test. Why am I getting punished for an extra 4 days? Well, of course, the thought is that I probably got it later than her. She got it on, let's say, Saturday. I picked it up from her on Monday. So it might be a couple extra days where I need to stay in the quarantine. The rule is basically, is 10 days after a positive test or symptoms. So next day, we're like, well, let's go get a confirmation, right? Like let's see if this is actually true. Let's see, so we go to a different testing site, come back. That time, I'm positive, and the kids are positive, and Lisa's positive.
Was it a rapid test or not?
That one was not. It was so there's two different types. There's an antigen test and a PCR test. Those are the two main types. And the first one was an antigen test, which is the rapid, which goes for like the proteins around the virus, and then there's the
Can they do false
test.
negatives on that?
There's a
It
high
can
false
happen, right?
negative test rate on the antigen test.
That's
so,
what I thought.
Yeah, the antigen tests are basically like less sensitive. So if you have, let's say, you're shedding lots of virus at that time, you're likely to be more contagious. So they like those for like who's contagious right now, right? The antigen test, the rapid. The PCR test picks up genetic material. Like, for example, you can test positive on the PCR test, the genetic test, weeks and weeks after you're contagious. Like you just will, because it'll pick up tiny fragments of the virus.
Wow.
So and that's good to know who's had it and who hasn't, but it doesn't necessarily help you manage an ongoing breakout.
Right.
How were you guys feeling during this entire experience?
So
did you get really sick, or was it like no symptoms?
Absolutely no symptoms whatsoever.
For you or Lisa?
Me, Lisa, or the kids.
Zach.
So we're in.
Did both kids got it?
Both kids got it.
Oh wow.
Asymptomatic though. Luckily,
even the kids. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, really. But it was good. Like, like, so we got those tests on Wednesday, and like I'm negative, right? She's positive. The two original people whose birthday was the guy's birthday and his wife, they both have symptoms. They're like, sick, but not like dying, but like, sick. They know they've got an illness. One of their kids was sick. They got some actual symptoms out of it. We, we're sitting there with nothing. I'm negative. I'm thinking to myself, it's probably a false negative. Like, you have these moments where you're like, the kids are probably fine. We could send them to school. Like you have these like, thoughts. And it's like, that is where you need to stop yourself and be like, well, just stay home. Let's be careful. Because we went through, think about this, probably got it on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, we came to work. We did debate coverage together.
Yeah.
Like, now, I may not have been contagious on those days. I don't know. But I had absolutely no idea that I had it. So this is why this thing keeps spreading, is because people keep going out and doing their normal thing.
But everybody here then went out and got the test.
And then you guys were thankfully all negative. I was worried if I was going to kill some hosts here. I mean,
that would have been bad.
They're like, hey, can you give us a list of your close contacts at work? And I'm like, all right, I'm going through it. And they're like, what's close contacts? And the CDC defines that as like 15 minutes within 6 feet type of conversation.
No,
right?
we were definitely that.
Right. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, and I'm going through and I'm like, most of the time, with other people I work with here, like, you keep your distance a little bit. You don't have long conversations in the hallways. Like, there's not a ton of people here. Like my producer for Stu Does America, like we talk on the phone in the morning and we see each other after the show for a few minutes, but we're usually more than 6 feet apart, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, there's only 3. But it is your entire on-air lineup. Glenn Beck, Pat Gray, Steve Dace. I'm like, you're not going to have any shows on. I may have killed your whole lineup. I'm sorry.
And if the floor people, like the camera people and producers and everything, we'd be in real trouble because there'd be nobody to, man the show.
Yeah. Did anybody else from this super spreader event of yours, anybody else test positive that you know of? Have you heard?
I mean, their whole family and our whole family. The other, there was another couple there with us, and the last I heard, at least, they had tested negative.
Yeah.
So hopefully that continued. I did, they're only acquaintances. I don't keep up to date too much with them, but I hadn't heard anything else. But it causes so much disruption, and it's so unnatural because you're at home. Of course, me, in the middle of this freaking election, with all the stuff going on. The president, I was on the exact same supposed schedule as the president of the United States. We got it on the same Saturday, tested positive on the same Wednesday or Thursday, whichever one that was. But like, it's just so disruptive. All this news is going on. You're sitting at home feeling totally fine, and you're not even able to go out other than to get a COVID test.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense.
But on the other side of it, it's a week and a half of your life. I'm like, for me, thankfully, it wasn't anything serious. So end of the day, I'm glad it didn't spread to anybody else, and you move on with your life. Hopefully, I've got antibodies.
Now, yes. Are you going to get tested for that?
I am, either this week or next week, because if I can confirm that, I'm like a superhero.
Yeah.
I think I'm immune not only to COVID but to everything. Yeah. That's the way I'm treating it. It's impossible to have any illness from now on. I don't know if that's true, but
seems logical.
Yeah,
I'd run with it.
Yeah,
just run with it. I mean, you don't have to worry about Ebola. I mean, you can
Nothing.
You could actually bathe in people's Ebola-tainted blood.
And I'm going to test it. I'm going to try that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
going to
should
try it
it.
just to make sure.
Try that?
Yeah, I want to make sure that it's true. Because, I wouldn't want to mislead people.
Right.
So.
Okay. Well, what's coming up on Stu Does America this week?
Well, we're going to do our Senate board, I think, today.
Is there a chance? There's a pretty good chance, actually. It seems to me.
Spoil it for us.
That
Tell
the
us.
Dems are can regain control or not.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't done the micro analysis of it really yet. I mean, I'm going to do that on the air, I think, today. But yeah, there's definitely a good chance. I mean, a lot of the experts who do this think of them as a slight favorite right now. I mean, it's very possible. I think some of these, they're going to definitely lose some seats, and I don't think there's any question to that. It's just a matter of do they lose enough.
53-47 right now.
Yes, so they have to get again. Obviously the president comes into play there if it's 50-50, but it could be 50-50. It could be 51-49.
So you talking about bathing, right? You bathe in these numbers, these state battleground state polls, stuff like that. Gun to your head, 2 weeks out. Do you have a prediction on the presidential, or is that a future episode of Stu Does America?
No, I mean, it's an ongoing thing, right? The polls. If you go back to the polls in 2016, Hillary Clinton had a very big lead right about now. This is following right after Access Hollywood, right? So this is a big lead for Hillary, and it narrowed enough, obviously, for him to win. But
there's more fraudulent ballots in 2020. In theory, than in 2016.
All that stuff you almost can't even account for, right?
That's insanity.
So, who knows what's going to happen with that? But, he is not in a good position right now. If this election happened today, he would lose, in my opinion, by a decent margin. I mean, he is not. He's in serious trouble because he needs to pick off states where it's not like he's picking off states where he's down by 3. His must-win states, he's down by 3. The states he needs to pick off that are unlikely, he needs to pick up a state he's down by 8. And that can happen and has happened, but it is not something you'd bet your life on by any means. And the president, he's got one more big night on Thursday.
Thursday night, man.
He's got to make that count.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big one. He really needs to. He needs to win that.
And I think he needs to address the stinking lies that Biden is telling. Just the blatant, outright lies. Like he's responsible for the blind pig being closed in Michigan when it's Gretchen Whitmer that co-owner of the bar should be blaming. Have you seen that commercial? The blind pig commercial?
No.
Oh, it's agonizing.
See, he has this impossible position that he's in where he does have to address these lies, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, he needs to stand back and let Joe Biden bury himself.
True.
So it's impossible.
But the other thing that's driving me out of my mind is the lie of the suckers and losers lie, which has been discredited by people who were there. So you cannot, you don't have any proof at all that he ever said that, and they keep talking about it as if it's hardcore fact.
This is ridiculous. I mean, wasn't he talking about World War One? I honestly just don't think this election should turn on his opinion on World War One military.
I don't either.
Whether he said it or not, which it doesn't make any sense that he would have said that.
No, I don't believe
it's not
he said
consistent with him. The other one is they keep saying this, to good people on both sides nonsense.
Oh.
That's one I want to take on this week too on Stu Does America, because it's it's not. It's not controversial. He was not talking about white supremacists. It was very clear he was not.
And he said he wasn't.
He said he wasn't multiple times. It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah. And this thing still lives. So, I mean, but this is the thing.
Not only does it live, it thrives.
It thrives.
People absolutely
that one I think is
it.
Unquestioned by most people.
It is.
And, I think I'm concerned that people on the right are getting this message from a lot of right-wing, sort of conservative media, I can't wait to see all these liberals sobbing and, they're going to be drenched in their own tears. And it's it could happen. I would not be shocked at all. I don't think he's out of it. But we need to look at this rationally and reasonably. He's in a position where things need to change.
Yeah.
He needs to improve his standing. I do think it will probably narrow. It's hard to imagine that it's going to keep in this, these 10 and 12 and 13 point polls, I don't believe that will actually hold. I think it will narrow. But he's not in a great position. This is not where you'd like to be 2 weeks before an election.
No, that's true. All right. You got to get to Glenn, so thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. And I can't pass COVID to you, so if you listen to this interview, you do not have COVID, at least in my medical opinion.
Just as strong as Fauci's, I'm sure.
There you go.
All right. Coming up this weekend, it's the M1 ball that usually takes place in person. It is virtual this year.
Oh.
So you don't have to travel or anything. It's on October 24th, which is Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
And the theme is America Goes Back to Work. We're, of course, at a turning point in American history. No matter what this election, no matter what, it's going to change the course of America. So, Saturday night, we will debunk the 1619 Project. Glenn is going to announce a new initiative and a new education center here in Dallas, where families and students from around the world can come to Dallas and learn about the true history, history of America. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
From founding documents like Lincoln and Washington letters to pop culture items, one of the actual Darth Vader masks from the movie, and R2-D2 as well.
Oh, nice.
Going to be here. There's going to be a live auction with incredible items to purchase, and there's an opportunity to spend time with David Barton and Glenn here in Dallas. So please go to m1nextchapter.com to learn more, or just go to mercury1.org. It's going to be a night of hope, encouragement, and a night to challenge you and your family to speak truth into our culture. So mercury1.org, go there for all the details.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Okay, we showed you the Biden babble from his town hall the other day.
Oh, shoot him in the leg?
Shoot him in the leg. And then there was the other thing with the 20 years. 20 years. You know, look. He has no idea where he's going.
He does not.
Also, there were some town hall questioners, including a former Obama speechwriter, the wife of former Pennsylvania Democrat candidate. These are all nonpartisan, and I'm certain they were undecided.
Undecided voters.
Wasn't that the point of it?
Yeah, they used to work for Obama,
and now they just can't figure out who to vote for this time. I don't know.
They did this at the last thing too. Remember this? They had several voters from previous NBC packages that showed them as Democrats. And now they show up at the town hall. Well, now I'm undecided.
So everybody made a big deal out of the woman behind Trump at his town hall who nodded her approval with everything he said. Okay, so she's obviously somewhat decided, or would seem so. Are they saying anything about the former Obama speechwriter being at the Biden deal? Come on now.
No.
Here is what he had to say about the vaccine and mask mandates.
Others say this vaccine is really the key. This is the golden key. It depends on the state of the nature of the vaccine, when it comes out, and how it's being distributed.
On whether it'll be
that
mandated?
Would depend on. But I would think that we should be talking about, depending on the continuation of the spread of the virus, we should be thinking about making it mandatory.
How could you enforce that?
Well, you couldn't. That's the problem. Just like you can't enforce measles.
Okay.
You can't come to school
pause
unless
it
you
for a
have a
second.
measles
You
shot.
can't enforce measles? If you can't mandate measles, I mandate right now, executive order that everybody gets measles.
Okay, I don't know if that's where he was
That's
going.
what he said. That's what he said, Keith. He said he can't mandate measles.
Do you think that a government official who is talking about, well, I don't know if we're going to mandate the vaccine, do you think that they're going to, at the end of the day, go, nah, we're not going to mandate the vaccine?
I think he would.
He is just waiting to get into office.
Let's hear the rest of what he had to say.
That's the problem. Just like you can't enforce measles. You can't come to school unless you have a measles shot. You can't. But you can't say everyone has to do this. But you would, just like you can't mandate a mask. But you can
Look at him wave this mask
go
around.
to every governor and get them all in a room,
Got my mask.
all 50 of them as president, and say, ask people to wear the mask. Everybody knows.
And if they don't, fine.
And they don't, no, not fine. Then I go to every governor, I go to every mayor, I go to every councilman, I go to every local official, say, mandate the mask. and say this is what you have to do when you're out. Make sure you encourage it being done.
See. Yeah.
George,
Encourage.
you and I know, and I think you do too as well, the words of a president matter.
Oh,
absolutely.
No matter whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, they matter. And when a president doesn't wear a mask or makes fun of folks like me when I was wearing a mask for a long time, then people say, well, it mustn't be that important. But when a president says, I think this is very important, for example, I walked in here with this mask, but I have one of the M95 masks underneath it. I left it in my dressing room, the room I was in before I got here.
I don't know where the hell I was, but I left it somewhere.
We say.
I got masks all over the place. I mean, look, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to wave this mask, use it as a pointer. Everybody see me virtue signaling during this town hall? You see this? I have a mask, and I have another one back here that's even better than this mask. Could you stop it?
But it's you hear the way he talked about mandating?
Yep.
He's going to force people to do it.
I'm telling you.
It's Trump who's the dictator. It's Trump who's the fascist.
You know this?
Amazing. That's amazing.
I swear, if Trump said something like that about mandating the vaccine, now he's the dictator, just like you pointed out.
He's a fascist.
But if he doesn't, then this is his virus.
Yeah, he's killed 220,000 people or whatever the number is now.
You want that job, President of the United States?
Nope.
No, thank you.
No, thanks.
Ugh.
Jeez. Also, really entering the fray now, in earnest, is Kanye West. He's actually produced a presidential ad, right?
Yeah.
Here's Kanye, so you can decide between the three.
What is America's destiny? What is best for our nation? Our people. What is just? True justice. We have to think about all these things together as a people.
Look at this.
To contemplate our future, to live up to our dream, we must have vision. We as a people will revive our nation's commitment to faith, to what our Constitution calls the free exercise of religion, including, of course, prayer. Through prayer, faith can be restored. We as a people are called to a greater purpose than ourselves. We are not only a beacon to the world, but we should be servants to each other, to encourage each other, to help each other, to lift up each other, our fellow Americans, that we may all prosper together. We have to act on faith with the sure knowledge that we are pursuing the right goals and doing the right things. We will build a stronger country by building stronger families. Families are the building blocks of society, of a nation. By turning to faith, we will be the kind of nation, the kind of people God intends us to be.
Wow.
I am Kanye West, and I approve this message.
I agree with all that. That was a pretty good speech,
Absolutely.
actually.
I mean,
that was good.
Kanye West is quoting the Constitution.
Yeah.
He's unashamedly
Talking about God.
promoting God and faith.
Getting back to our values.
2020. I mean,
it's pretty good.
We are in the universe.
This is from the guy who said George Bush hates black people, doesn't like black people, or whatever it was he said.
He's come a long way.
He's come a long way.
Yeah.
He really has.
Yeah, I'm going to run out to the Crafty Beaver later. My favorite cashier out there, Neil Young, is going to be man in the store.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's the universe we're in now.
That is. It just is. All right, well, you have yourself a great Monday.
Yeah.
It just goes by too fast, so enjoy your Monday as much as you can, all right? And we will see you Tuesday morning again.
Oh, that's how that works.
That's how it works.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.